What's up everybody, Ben the Blur here today, bringing you LEGO Transformers Terrabolt. So here we have Terrabolt in her Cybertronian dune buggy mode. Now this is my first attempt at Fembot, and I will say right off the bat, she's nowhere near perfect, but she does have, specifically in robot mode, very feminine features for a Fembot. She is an Autobot, just like, you know, how I always do it, one Autobot, one Decepticon, back to Autobot, back to Decepticon. So she is the 7th LEGO Transformer in my series so far. She's a little yellow dune buggy with some light grey and black throughout her. She's got these two wheels at the front, which unfortunately don't rotate or spin. I mean, they are on cylinders, so you can move them, but they don't spin. Got these two wheels back here on this little bar, connected to this clip. This little black 1x2 panel is meant to represent the windshield, and then this is meant to be a grill to vent out sand and whatnot. She's got some sort of suspension under here when you take a look at it, so that's pretty decent. Got these little guns at the front, the hazard tape panels at the side to show that, you know, she can go all terrain. The Autobot symbol up top. Yeah, not really much to her vehicle mode. Now you will see, obviously, in vehicle mode and in robot mode, there are lots of similarities between her and one other LEGO Transformer I've made, and you could pretty much take a guess at this point to see who it is, to discover who it is. And that's not just coincidental. I did it on purpose because I like the idea of having sort of very similar Transformers in the Transformers universe. I mean, it's not unheard of. You know, Bumblebee, Cliffjumper, Prowl and Jazz, I guess, Sideswipe and Silver Streak, you know, Blue Streak, Starscream, Skywarp, Thundercracker, etc. But yeah. And there she is, little yellow dune buggy. I mainly wanted to use the colour yellow just because I don't have too many yellow pieces, but the yellow pieces that I do have I could make into a LEGO Transformer, and I made this little yellow dune buggy. For a size comparison, here she is standing next to a LEGO minifigure to get a similarity between them. Obviously at the moment I don't actually have any LEGO Transformers in vehicle mode to be able to compare her to, but given how I've compared a LEGO minifigure to every other LEGO Transformer that I've made, you could pretty much read between the lines and see the similarities. So I think without further ado, let's just go ahead and get straight onto her transformation. So to transform Terrabolt into her robot mode, first things first, what we're going to do is we're going to come here to these side panels. And I do apologise if things are a bit blurry. I'm trying my best. I'm just using my actual DSLR camera instead of my camcorder. So just bear with me for that. So we're going to rotate the side panel out and then bring this whole assembly down and straighten this out just like that, and then we're going to rotate this at an angle almost 90 degrees and just keep it there for now. And in fact, we're just going to move it back slightly, and we're going to do the exact same on the other side. So we're going to twist this back, bring this down, straighten this out, rotate this forward, bring it back, and keep it roughly just about there. Now what we're going to do is this whole assembly we're going to bring down like that on that crossbar. I'm going to rotate it here at this clip 180 degrees and bring it backwards just like that. Now we're going to pull out these assemblies, slide it along on this 1x1 stud with the bar on it, and wiggle out these yellow headlight bricks. Shimmy that along. And then while we're here, we're going to rotate this whole assembly around. And then as we're here, we'll collapse this slightly so that these 1x1 stud like panel pieces with these ports on the side that come out of it, just sort of nestle into there to sort of form like a waist. And then we're going to bring the legs forward on these fire hose nozzles and wiggle them in slightly, just so they can then stay held in place, just like that. And we'll bring these up, twist these around, oh, apparently pull them off, bend them back down at an angle, and we're just going to go ahead and bring these headlight bricks down as well at a slight angle, just like that. Do the exact same on the other side. Situate everything how we want. And then finally, this is a fun bit, these wheels, we're actually going to push them along the cylinder that's right here until they're nice and flush against the side of her head. Might just be easier to take the bar off actually. Something like that. Stand her up and then bring the camera up slightly. And there we have Lego Transformers Terrabolt in her robot mode. Now her robot mode isn't exactly amazing, but it's pretty decent. There's some very feminine features here on her. Like, she has very small, slim arms anyway. She has the curved, sloped fronts of the chest, the Autobot symbol, this little silver 1x1 flat stud. It's meant to represent almost like a belly button, or like a belly button piercing. Yes, she has the sort of wider legs and then the thin, slim waist. And then this is a funny thing that sort of came to a coincidence. The wheels, how they push down from the cylinders more towards the size of her head, almost become sort of like a Princess Leia like hair bun. How she has like the buns at the side of her head in Star Wars A New Hope. And I quite like that. I mean, she's pretty decent. She's a fun little Lego Transformer to play with, to transform back and forth, and then also display her on the shelf. There's not really much to her design, except for the fact that, you know, she has legs, she has arms, she has a head, she has a chest, and she has a waist. That's sort of about it. I do like how the binocular pieces that are the guns at the front of the vehicle sort of become her feet. And she has sort of these hazard shin pads and these silver metallic grey studs sort of become like kneecaps, I guess. So yeah, she is decently poseable for her size. I mean, her head is just held together by stud friction so it can rotate around, but I'm not going to because of this giant wheel, these wheels here at the back. But her arms go up, they're down, they do go sort of in and out here at the shoulder, they swivel at the elbow, they actually bend at the elbow. She has a waist like upper crunch or whatever, so she can tilt her waist up. Her legs go forward and backward and swivel at the knee, and then they also actually rotate to the side at the knee as well. So you can get her doing like sort of, you know, sideway kicks or whatever. So that's pretty cool. Now for a quick size comparison, here she is compared to the one Transformer who was actually related to her, and that is Flash Drive, aka her brother. Flash Drive and Terrabolt here obviously their names don't really actually relate to each other in any way, but they do have a lot of similarities. For example, the wheels at the front of the vehicle do become like feet in a sense, I guess. Obviously his back wheels are actually on the backs of his arms and the sides of his arms, whereas hers have become her hair buns. They both have very unique faces. He has a white faceplate with a teal visor, where she actually has a silver face with a pink visor, and then a yellow topped head. Very spindly, very thin sort of waist, and then the Autobot symbol is roughly at the same place. And they're actually pretty accurate, like pretty similar heights. She is just barely like anything taller. I mean, including the wheels, she's about a stud or maybe two taller than him, but actually at the top of their head, they're the exact same height. So I like the idea that these two are like a brother and sister type duo. Here she also is compared to her infamous heroic leader, Bossbot, Talos Prime, so you get the idea of the size between them. And here she is compared to a little Lego minifigure, so you can see roughly the size contrast between these characters. Yeah. She's just a fun Lego Transformer to play with. So let's just go ahead and get into her unique ability. Now, obviously, her name, Terrabolt, just bolts just because I wanted to give her a second part of her name like I do with all the other Transformers that I create. But the first word, Terra. Her brother being able to move at, super speeds with his wheel feet with the blades at his side of the arm. She has a very unique power. I made this little, almost like hammer, staff, weapon, which unfortunately doesn't connect to her vehicle mode. But I think in vehicle mode, it's weird to have this brown weapon just attached to this little yellow dune buggy. So we can attach that into her hand. And essentially, what she can do is, having the name Terra meaning Earth, she's actually able to control Earth elements. So she's able to control dirt, sand, dust, and whatever. And what she's able to do is, not only can she create a sort of dirt/dust weapon, as is elemented here, but she can control it in any way she wishes. I made this little sort of like dirt/sand/dust sort of mountain here. And when you stand her next to it, it almost looks like she's creating it just by pure will. So then she can channel her power to, I don't know, control sandstorms, throw dust and dirt at people, or like create a sort of energy wave. Not an amazingly unique. I mean, it's a unique perk and like power, being able to control the elements, like the earth element. But, I mean, on Cybertron, let's face it, there's not really much dirt. It's more just like rust and sand and dust. Yeah. But essentially, also with her wheel feet, I imagine that like she turns her legs to the side, just like her brother does, and because of her oh, her leg just came off. Because of her dune buggy vehicle mode, she's able to actually drive and like wheel around on her feet and drive around using this power of a sandstorm, and like can go all over all sorts of terrain. So there's that. Obviously, when you tilt her legs to the side, oh, she does stand up by herself. That's good. So not an amazingly special unique power, but I do like the idea of having like 4 Transformers with all the elements. We've had Hydroblast, who has the power of water. We've had Pyro Wing with the power of fire. Terrabolt, who has the power of earth. So that just means that there's going to be one more who has the power of air and wind and whatnot. And I guess we'll just have to see when time tells, whatever the phrase is. Let's just get her legs back into the proper placement. I do think I prefer her in her robot mode, because all the other LEGO Transformers I have actually got displayed in robot mode, just because, they don't take up nearly as much space when they're standing up. I like her. I mean, she's just fun to play with, and I think she looks really good, like, alongside her brother. How they both have, like, she has this big axe weapon that can channel the power of Earth, and he has, his 2 arm blades that he uses as his weapon to scoot around. So I think they make a pretty good team. So, anyway, I guess there's not really much else to say. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Peace out.